for at 1:15 a.m. That's really none of our business. Because your life is private. And unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Oh, who's that from? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Lowe's Provember event is back, and we're thanking pros like you all month long. So when you become a Pro Loyalty member, now through November 24th, you'll get a welcome kit via mail, Lowe's bucket included. It's all part of Provember, going on online and in stores. Lowe's, the new home for pros. New accounts only. More terms and conditions apply while supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/ProLoyalty for details. U.S. only.
This is Cindy Allen Lax with the Edge Media Group, and we are looking for more team members. I have had the pleasure to work with and for this company for 28 years. It's what I love. I look forward to coming to work every day. And at 65, I could retire, but no way. I love what I do. I love the people I work with and for, and I love my community. It's definitely living the dream for me. And maybe a position with the Edge Media Group could be your dream job. It's never too late to start something new. Send your resume to careers@edgemediagroup.net.
This is Alan Watts with Your Ag Edge, inviting you to join me Monday through Friday at 5:30 a.m. for the WPKY Morning Ag Report. We check in daily with Caldwell County Agriculture Extension Agent Shane Bogle. Get the latest from fellow farm broadcaster Max Armstrong. Take a look at the latest livestock market reports. Hear the latest edition of Traveling the Bluegrass and check the opening grain market with Hopkins Elevators' Ben Westerfield. That's the Morning Ag Report from Your Ag Edge Network on 103.3 FM and 1580 AM WPKY.
The Saturday Morning Quarterback Show continues on WPKY. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Caldwell County bowing in the first round of the playoffs last night down at Murray. 27-13 was the final score there. We're back on Saturday Morning Quarterback with coaches Will Barnes and Jeff Riley. And, guys, we kind of mentioned that it always stinks when your season comes to an end, no matter where it is, because everybody always wants to win that last game, but it seems like it's always toughest because you've got that group of seniors that, nobody wants it to be their last practice or their last game.
Yeah, and we had a really good group, and it's kind of a mixed group where we've got a few that have played quite a bit. We had some that have played a little bit and had to play a bigger role this year, and then some that haven't played at all, and this was their first year starting. So, early in the year when you look after the scrimmages and after that first game, we were kind of at a point where we weren't playing well offensively. We were doing some good things defensively. Got beat in a game that, going into it, we thought we had a good chance to win. And that was kind of a point where, it could go north or south pretty quick. And even getting into that Madisonville game, we're down early in that game, weren't playing well offensively. And, I think the seniors were the guys that kind of stayed the course and didn't get too high or get too low, and just kept playing and just kept showing up. And finally we broke through there in the fourth quarter of that Madisonville game. And, that was kind of the point in our season. I know it's just a second game, but that kind of determined what type of team we were going to be. So, and the seniors had a lot to do with that.
Well, yeah, you go back to that Madisonville game, and you guys are down going to the fourth quarter, and season's kind of on the brink a little bit, even though it's a second game, but everybody kind of dug down deep and came back and won that game. And then I thought played pretty well at Hopkinsville the next week, which is a bigger school with a pretty deep and quick team. And seems like that Madisonville win, though, was kind of what built the rest of the season. Yeah,
I think it was, because you drop that game, you're looking at 0-3, and that's not a good spot to be in. So that was a good win, and like I said, I give the seniors a lot of credit for hanging in there and having positive attitudes, and when they're that way, that transfers to everybody else on the team.
Jeff, it had some key seniors on that defensive side that really kind of spearheaded things too.
Oh yeah, those guys, especially the guys up front that, because those are the first ones I think of, because those are the guys I coach. And Angel Long is as tough a kid as we have in our program. He's a hard-working kid. he has an unbridled passion for the weight room. The kids will give him a hard time about how much he loves to lift weights, and we tease him a little bit about it. But he's a really good kid, and he was disappointed he didn't get to play in the Murray game last time, and come back last night and had a solid game and made some plays, and was excited to get back on the field. And you talk about Elijah Shaheen, and you talk about just a genuinely good kid who works hard, is a very good athlete, and has got some quickness, but he's also, he cares about our team and ended up being a kind of a vocal, emotional leader for our team down the stretch, and you're definitely going to miss those guys. You talk about Max Kramer out on the edge playing corner, probably was as close to a bookend corner as we had, and could count on him to go make a play and play a bunch of different roles for our team. And Coach mentioned guys that have been around and didn't get the chance to play until this year, and Isaiah Joyner's one of those kids who stuck around and ended up playing a lot, had some big plays in return game, and got better in the secondary as the year went along. And Billy Wallace is as fun a kid to be around as you'll be around, and he come in and got to play a bunch defensively, and pretty proud of him. And just kind of looking at the list here, as far as guys that played a lot defensively, those are guys that we're going to miss. Jack, of course, is a stalwart, been at free safety for 2 or 3 years now, and again, he's a hard-working kid who puts a lot of time in and has worked really hard in the off season. And he's not a real vocal leader, but he's an emotional kid who's competitive and he loves the game. So we're losing some really, really good kids and some good leadership that these younger guys and the guys that are still around are going to have to kind of fill that void a little bit for us next year. And hopefully their legacy will be a little bit of let's look and kind of see what it takes to be 7-4, 7-3, 7-4, and try to build on that.
Well, as you look ahead to next year, you're going to have to replace some key people with those seniors. And first of all, you got to find a quarterback and a running back.
Yeah, and Jack did a phenomenal job this year. Our playing quarterback's not easy, and there's a lot of things we expect them to do, and what I thought he did a good job of is staying pretty even keeled and having a good attitude, and he did got better every single week, and really did a good job with his legs, and that's with him, and even with Russ the last couple of years, that's an added dimension to our offense that makes us a little bit better. And when you can run the ball and be tough and physical like Jack was, that's really hard for defenses to defend. So and he's such a good kid, has worked incredibly hard. I mean, he had a great year and he deserved it. He's done every single thing you could possibly do to have a good career, and he's got a lot to be proud of. And you talk about the running back spot. Logan Smiley was phenomenal. He's probably not going to get the postseason recognition he deserves, but
he's just a tough kid and worked his tail off in the weight room, and really was a carrying point for our offense this year. I think he was solid. I mean, you look at the stature that he came in with, and the buy-in, and to be a leader, and to do the things that we asked him to do in the off season. He did every little thing and then some. And you're going to be whoever fills that role in the running back spot is going to have a big part of what we do, because they always do. But whoever has to fill that role in leadership wise, and that's going to be big shoes to fill as well. So he's a tough kid. And then you look at a kid like Gavin Boyd, who is not a skill spot, but our lone senior guy we're going to lose on the offensive line. And you look at a kid who really took it upon himself last year to really get in the weight room and work hard. And he really, I told him last night, I think he got a little clip by COVID to start the season. And I think he's just now in the last couple of weeks getting his legs out from under him and, really kind of starting to play where we kind of expected him to be in those first couple of games. And it's just, a kid like Gavin Boyd is going to make somebody a heck of a husband one day, and he's going to be a good dad and, do all those things that you don't make the front page of the newspaper for, but that probably matter a whole lot more than how many football wins you ended up with.
Yeah, I do want to say something about Gavin. He's a guy that has played the last few years, and going into this year, he decided right away he was going to be more of a leader. He always showed up, but just his presence in the off season was a good example for some of these younger guys like Cole Sherrill and like Brady Holman and like Connor King. And you look at the progress Connor King made this year. It has a lot to do with Gavin Boyd, his influence, and just a really good kid. That's all these kids. That's what makes it tough is, you're with great kids all the time. So, it was a good group to be around for sure.
Well, I always say that in high school sports, you very rarely have a successful season without strong senior leadership, because there's only so much that coaches can do to kind of encourage everybody to get there for practice and practice hard and do all the right things. At some point, it has to come from somebody on the team. Occasionally, you'll have a really crazy, strong junior class that kind of carries that, but 99% of the time, if you see a successful high school team, whatever sport, it's because they've got strong senior leadership.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just a little bit different when you're a senior and you don't have that next year at the end, and it probably means a little bit more. And those guys are experienced and kind of, even if the guys that haven't played, they've been around 3 years and have been through a ton of different things, and there's a big difference between a 17, 18-year-old and a 14, 15-year-old. So, and there's other guys we haven't mentioned. Blake Viverette. He's another one that's just a really good kid to be around. Great personality and incredibly athletic. Somebody. I think Murray State's finally catching on, but somebody's going to get a phenomenal kicker at the next level, and showed he can punt this year. And really, I think with the way he works, he's just kind of, at the floor of what he really could be, because he's going to, he's a tall, lanky, athletic kid. He's going to get in a strength program and dedicate himself to kicking, and the sky's the limit for him. So somebody needs to add him, and they're going to get a good get for sure when they do.
Caldwell County finishing up the season 7-4, falling last night at Murray in the first round of the playoffs. Need to get to another break here on Saturday Morning Quarterback, but we'll continue with coaches Will Barnes and Jeff Riley right after this on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Enjoy your favorite Mexican food at La Potosina Mexican Restaurant. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m., offering up all your favorite authentic Mexican dishes for lunch and dinner. Now you pair your favorite meal with your favorite margarita. Enjoy dining in or call in for carryout. Call 270-365-3848 to place your order. They appreciate your business and are ready to serve you in a safe atmosphere. That's La Potosina Mexican Restaurant,
Princeton and Marion.
I know. It was just Halloween, and now we're talking Christmas. But it's time for the Tin Roof's annual holiday open house. Y'all, this year, they are giving you 2 weekends of festivities, November 4th through the 6th and 12th and 13th. You're invited to get a head start on Christmas. The Tin Roof has gifts for all ages, items to freshen your holiday decor, or just come enjoy the beautiful Christmas displays. Follow them on Facebook for all the details. Tin Roof in Princeton. Come see what all the fuss is about.
You Ride in Princeton just might buy your vehicle. They are always looking for quality inventory. So if you would like to sell yours, talk to the nice folks at You Ride. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, You Ride is here. They are hometown proud and here to deliver the same great customer service they always have. Stop by or call for an appointment with one of their sales specialists. Call 270-365-3018. On-the-lot financing is available. You can even apply online at uridesales.com. U-Ride on the Marion Road in Princeton. Hometown proud.
Fortner Gas is a full-service propane company offering services in Western Kentucky. You'll find offices located in Princeton and Cadiz. They're your local and family-owned propane supplier. Browse their website and discover the many services and products available to you at Fortner Gas. You can shop in person or online, and they can answer any and all questions in person or on the phone. If they are already your propane supplier, they say thank you. If not, they'd love to be. Contact Fortner Gas Company, a family tradition of service since 1951.
Smart furniture shoppers all agree. At Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress Hopkinsville, you get a bigger, better selection with the best prices anywhere around. Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress. You'll find a huge selection of bedroom, dining room, living room furniture, also adjustable bed bases, and a great selection of mattresses. Let our sleep specialist help you get the night's sleep you want with the perfect mattress. It's worth the drive to 2519 Fort Campbell Boulevard, Hopkinsville. Check us out on the web. Free delivery for our military.
Hey, it's Tess. Join me weekday mornings from 6 to 9. We like playing games, but we love making winners.
Look at you go, girl!
You did great, girl. You did wonderful.
You got it!
That's exciting.
Everything you need to know and a whole lot of fun. Start your day with us. Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
What station made you winner this morning?
WPKY.
WPKY. WPKY in Princeton.
WPKY.
Go with the good old America, WPKY.
With YourSportsEdge.com, you get more coverage of your favorite teams, athletes, and sports.
Lets me know the student as a whole person.
With no page limits or subscription fees ever.
It means exposure for the local high school athlete.
A new look and a new feel, no matter where you are.
Even if I'm out of town, I have it on my phone.
It's always available right at your fingertips.
Round-the-clock coverage of local athletes.
High school sports coverage the way it's supposed to be.
I love what they did with the website.
Download the free app now. YourSportsEdge.com.
Saturday night.
Touchdown! Touchdown! Kentucky!
I love this team. It's a border battle under the lights in Lexington.
This is going to be another great challenge.
Tennessee Volunteers and your Kentucky Wildcats.
UK will be taking on Tennessee today. All the coverage begins at 4 o'clock on WKDCRadio.com and 106.5 WKDC.
The Saturday Morning Quarterback Show continues on WPKY. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Back on Saturday Morning Quarterback here on WPKY. Thanks for joining us this morning. Caldwell coaches Will Barnes and Jeff Riley in the studio with us. Caldwell County falling at Murray last night in the first round of the Class 2A playoffs. And guys, you were talking about the seniors and strong 7-4 season. One of my favorite moments of the year, though, looking back, was the night that you guys gave the ball to Jordan Ladd 3 times down near the goal line, and he barreled in for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's I don't know how long I'll coach, but that'll be something I'll always remember. And we kind of talked about it after that game, but we wouldn't do that just for anybody. And Jordan is an unbelievable kid and has showed up to everything for 4 years and has given great effort, and it's just so fun to be around. And you can't say enough good things. And I'll steal a line from Coach Riley. Coach Riley a couple weeks ago said, if you don't like Jordan Ladd, there's something wrong with you. And that's pretty much sums it up perfectly. And Coach Riley and him have a pretty special relationship, so I'll let Coach Riley talk about him too.
Well, Jordan's the type of kid that when you say, hey, guys, stay close to me, Jordan stays close to you. So one of the things I'm going to miss most next year is turning around and looking for something in somebody and having big 72 right there in my hip pocket. And Jordan would, Coach, I'm ready whenever you need me, Coach. Every game. I think he probably said it about 3 times last night. And I'm definitely going to miss that part of it. And seeing Jordan's face in the weight room every day and having him at practice, he's just the type of kid that just makes coaching fun. He probably didn't get play as much as he wanted to. And, I know he was a little disappointed with, whatever. But every time we put him in, he gave us everything he had. every time we asked him to clean up his locker, he cleaned up his locker. Every time we said do a bench press, we might ask him to do 10, he might do 7, but he would still get in there and do it real hard. And he is just a genuinely good human being. And he's the kind of those guys that you look at the other guys and you can say, you know what, guys, before you fuss about little things, look at a young man like Jordan who shows up every day and wants to be a part of our team and makes our team better just by his presence, and we're definitely going to miss that.
Yeah, that last game always so especially disappointing to the seniors. Again, no matter what round of the playoffs you lose in, and I know guys kind of took it hard last night, but if it didn't mean a whole lot, you wouldn't feel that way. So I mean. The fact that it means so much to everybody is what makes that so difficult when you have that last loss.
Yeah, for sure. That's I don't remember who I was talking to. It's been in the last month, and if it's all said and done and it's over, and you're happy and ready to go move on, do whatever else, it probably didn't mean a whole lot to you. But if you're upset, it meant something to you, and you cared about it, and that says a whole lot for sure.
Yeah, the only guys that get to celebrate that last game are the ones that raised the big trophy in Lexington.
Right. That's exactly right.
It's always kind of tough. Kind of looking ahead to next season, though, schedule's going to be the same, and thankfully this year we only had one COVID game, and that was the Ballard Memorial game, so this season was a whole lot more like a normal season, which was a great thing. But as you look ahead to next year, how does that kind of shape up for you guys?
Yeah, it'll be the second year of those 2-year contracts. So, I don't guess you call them contracts, whatever, agreements, however you want to look at it. But the home and home deals, we'll flip the schedule.
Yeah, Jeff, what are those called?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't call them contracts anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Home and home deals is what I'm rolling with.
So, I guess we'll have to see how the whole Christian County schools deal plays out. If you hear all the rumblings and all that, but that's the only thing. If they were to play as one team, figure out how the schedule's going to work out there, because obviously we played both of them. So we'll that may be something that pops up. But other than that, scrimmages are going to be the same, just flipped. So it'll be just about the same. Hopefully the exact same.
Looking ahead to 2023. We'll have realignment, and the playoffs change a little bit coming up then. So have you heard any word about as far as people might be moving up or down or anything in realignment?
I'll let Coach Riley talk about that. I think he may have a little input.
Well, the only thing that I can have insight-wise that I know about is they're just talking about how they're going to, count enrollment with the COVID year. So there's some debate at the state level about what they're going to use as enrollment numbers, about are they going to take just the 3-year average, or they're going to take the average before the COVID year and average that into the 4. I think something to that effect. I don't think that's been decided. I think the Border Control has to kind of make a decision on that. They asked some opinions on that at the last KHSAA function that I'm aware of. And then I think it'll just kind of be the normal. Once they kind of decide how they're going to count the COVID year, then they'll just do, average male enrollment, and they'll do the top 32 will be 6A and the bottom 32 will be 1A, and, they'll distribute everybody else in between. So,
well, Caldwell kind of went from the last time we got moved around from being one of the largest Class 2A schools to being one of the smaller Class 3A schools. But actually, Will, we had quite a bit of success as a 3A school before getting back into 2A again.
Yeah, and, we fit in well in 3A, and that had some good success, and that's a testament to the program and what type of kids we have. So, we're competitive in 2A as well.
At some point, though, they'll have to send out a draft alignment, though, because you're going to have to start preparing schedules for the next 2-year cycle fairly quickly. I mean,
right? Yeah. And they usually, it seems like it'll be like next fall. Does that sound
I think
right?
Maybe around. Yeah, they'll send out a draft alignment, and then they'll give you an opportunity to request a change, sometimes for travel or whatever reason, and you can petition to play up a class. usually I think the petition's granted if you have travel issues or something to that effect, or you play some natural rivals that are really close. I think really the really biggest concern is travel, and then they'll finalize it and vote on the finalized draft, and that'll end up being the alignment. And so I think that'll probably, the process will start here probably towards the end of this season, and kind of, you'll probably know going into next season what your proposed alignment will be.
Yeah, I remember one year, or for one cycle anyway, I think Russellville was a 1A school playing a 3A schedule just because they had those 3A schools around them. That was a little easier for them to travel. So,
yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I mean, we're a little bit that way. We are close, Hopkinsville and Christian County are really close. Trigg County's close. So we kind of play up in those class schedules there. And
geographically, we'd probably fit better in 4A.
Well, yeah, if you want to try to
limit
limit the travel if we're just going county to county. But I think one of the good things about being a small school in Western Kentucky is you don't have to go far to find, some level, some competition that's close to your class level. I mean, if you look at sometimes, I feel like, if you're a really big school in Western Kentucky, you've got to travel to the middle of the state before you can find other. I mean, I think what McCracken County's district over in Bowling Green, that's 2 hours away from those, so that's not too bad. If your furthest district opponent is an hour away, that's not terrible travel. So.
Well, they talk about travel, and then you look at what Marshall County had to do last night, which was go to Louisville Trinity. And Marshall, I think, was 5th in their district, but they became the 4th seed because the other district over there only had 3 teams.
Yeah.
So that didn't help Marshall County out any, but hopefully they'll look at some of those things. To me, it was just a lot better when you played the other district in the playoffs. You got to see people you didn't normally see. I think it's kind of tough when you have to play a rematch right in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, well, that it is what it is, but I think all the coaches made that pretty well known that they would rather play in the sister district deal too. And it's like you said, it's playing different people, and that's what we'll eventually get back to. We'll just keep flip-flopping, I guess, and till everybody's happy, which will never happen. So, we'll play it whatever they decide. We'll show up and play.
Well, do want to mention some of our former Tigers having big seasons on the college level. And at Lindsey Wilson today, it's actually senior day for Jalen Boyd, and what a career he's had.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been phenomenal, and he's done a great job and worked hard, and a good example for all of our kids in our program for sure.
I think he owns records for most rushing yards, most rushing touchdowns. Just had a great career, and I think they've won like 18 straight games. And because the 2020 season was actually played this past spring, all of those have come this year.
Jeez. Well, I did see on Twitter they haven't lost to. I think there's 8 NAIA schools in Kentucky.
Yeah.
They haven't lost to an in-state NAIA since like 2014 or 15, I think.
And they play Campbellsville today, which is a big game.
There we go. We got Campbellsville alum in here.
Unfortunately, Lindsey Wilson's had Campbellsville's number, except for Jalen. I don't know. I'm torn. I always want our guys to do well. So if Campbellsville has to take it on the chin at the expense of Jalen Boyd, I guess the Tiger in me can put it aside for a year or so. But no, they've done a great job of building a program there, and they've done a good job of recruiting Western Kentucky kids to be a part of that. And I think Jalen, they were fortunate to get Jalen because I think Jalen's talent was probably, I felt like maybe a little level above where he is, but also I think Jalen was fortunate to get them as well because they've stuck with him and, really kind of let him be a center point of their offense. And, Jalen's another one of those kids that's just a good kid who's grown up and, taken this game and made it an opportunity for himself. And that's a pretty special thing when you get the chance to do that.
And D. Kane with an interception last week for the Hilltoppers in a win. Hilltoppers playing Middle Tennessee today, and that's a big rivalry game for those guys.
Yeah, and D's done a great job, and it feels like both those guys graduated high school like 10 years ago.
They did.
They're like 8 years.
But no, that D's done a great job, and it's good he's getting some playing time and getting to play after all the things he's been through. And he came and talked to our guys before that Union County game, and really proud of him too.
And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think D. Kane must have a good friend in the PR department at Western, because every time I scroll through any social media, it's not hard to find number 28 in the shot.
And I was going to say, another former Tiger, Trip Branch, is at center and has been playing a little bit on special teams there this season. And center is actually playing at a former Southeastern Conference school today.
Oh, yeah, Swanee or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad Tripp's getting to do that. And as a freshman, if you're getting to play even on special teams, that means you've shown the coaches that you're reliable and you're going to work hard and you're going to do what they ask you to do. So that says a lot, because they got a good football team too, and with a lot of guys in that program, and for him to be able to do those things, it says a lot about him.
And no surprise, right? No surprise that Trip Branch is reliable and shows up and does everything that he's asked to do.
Well, and another former Tiger, Trell Riley at Tennessee. He got hurt, though, earlier this year, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And, Tennessee sent out a little graphic with him on it to us, and that was really nice. And, really proud of him, too, getting there. And I haven't talked to Trell in a little while, but, seems to be doing well. So happy for him as well.
And Tennessee at Kentucky tonight.
I know.
Cats going to have their hands full, I'm afraid.
I think you may be right, Todd.
I don't know. The Cats are due a good one, though. The Georgia game was understandable. Mississippi State's a really good team, probably was underrated, and anytime you go on the road in the Southeastern Conference, it's tough. I think the Cats play well tonight, though.
We'll see.
I'm not going to call.
At least it's at home.
I'm not going to call a win, but I think they're going to play well.
They need to.
Yeah. We're talking with Caldwell coaches Will Barnes and Jeff Riley this morning on Saturday Morning Quarterback. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this timeout here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Hey guys, it's Kelly Capps with Farmers Bank. Buying a home can be stressful, and I'm sure you have many questions like what's a good rate? What type of loan is right for me? I'm here to walk you through the process. Whether you're buying your first home, downsizing, or looking to upgrade, Farmers Bank has the options for you. We offer rural housing, VA loans, and so much more. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call, or you can apply online at yournxtbank.com. Farmers Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Of all the holidays we observe, Thanksgiving is the most distinctively American. The traditions we celebrate were created to honor the hopes and dreams, fortitude, and gratitude of our forefathers, and the American families who have counted their many blessings for generations since. At Penny Rile Electric, we give thanks for you. We appreciate your trust and your friendship. Happy Thanksgiving from the people of Penny Rile Electric. Thankful to have empowered our members and the communities we serve since 1937.
The telling someone you love them with McDonald's deal is as rare as it is special, since it's best shown by giving up the last bite. Because a gesture like that is a true act of selflessness.
Enjoy one of our $3 bundles, like a McDouble, McChicken, or 4-piece Chicken McNuggets, each paired with small fries, only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Cycling is one of the best ways to get exercise, see the sights, and reduce your carbon footprint. However, bicyclists face a host of hazards. Here's Jimmy Lancaster, owner of Bikes Some More, with a Cycling Safety Minute.
It is important to understand that as cyclists, you follow the same rules as motorists. Ride single file in the direction of traffic, remain alert, keep your head up, and look around, not down. Watch for opening car doors and other hazards. Use hand signals when turning and use extra care at intersections. Before entering traffic, stop and look left, right, left again, and over your shoulder. And most importantly, be sure you are visible and that your bicycle is safe to ride. At Bikes and More, we believe riding bikes is a perfect way to de-stress, get exercise, and some fresh air. Feel free to message us on Facebook or call us with any questions you may have.
This Cycling Safety Minute was brought to you by Bikes Some More, WKDZ 106.5, WHVO 96.5 and 100.9, and WPKY 103.3.
Chick-fil-A of Hopkinsville wants to salute the outstanding achievements of our area student athletes. Each week, a student athlete will be chosen based on academics, athletics, and achievements. Watch for the Chick-fil-A AAA Young Person of the Week at yoursportsedge.com. Academics, athletics, and achievements. The Chick-fil-A AAA Young Person of the Week at yoursportsedge.com.
Keeping you up to date is what we do with live local news every weekday. Experienced reporters staff our newsroom with over 200 years of available combined experience in local news. Alan Watts, Tammy Hancock, Ed Marlowe, John Godsey, Ann Petrie, Scott Brown, Eddie Owen, Annie Catron. Your News Edge has the largest newsroom in this area. Stay up to date with your WPKY News Edge team. Local news. Weekdays at 6:30, 7:30, noon, and 5.
Enter the Titans ticket giveaway for your chance to win a pair of club-level tickets and parking pass to one of the Titans home games this season. Head over to WPKYonline.com to enter. The Titans ticket giveaway is brought to you by Ace Drywall and Acoustical, Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Rooms for Less, Dreamfield Lending, and Davo's Burgers and Fries.
The Saturday Morning Quarterback Show continues on WPKY. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Caldwell County suffering a 27-13 setback last night down at Murray in the first round of the Class 2A playoffs. Tigers ending the season with a 7-4 mark for 2021. Caldwell County coaches Will Barnes and Jeff Riley in the studio with us. And just once again, guys, going back over the season, it was a fun ride, and it was really kind of fun. I know everybody would like to have the number one ranked team in the state and be 10-0 and 11-0 and all those things going deep into the playoffs, but it was really fun to watch the team grow this season from, some struggles early in the year to the point to where we all thought we were going down to Murray Friday night and winning that playoff game.
Yeah, and it was a fun group to coach and a fun group to be around, and that's another thing why it's disappointing to be over is it's fun to go to practice and be around guys that come with great attitudes and work hard and do what you ask, and that's another deal that makes it tough too.
Again, looking ahead to next year, you mentioned the schedule is going to be the same as it was this year, and it never going to be easy, but just have to get ready for those big schools and the good teams on there.
Yeah, and we'll have to have some guys step up and fill some of these voids that are going to be left from graduation, and we got to have a really good off season.
Been fun talking to you guys all season. Like I always say, it's kind of tough to come in here after a loss, especially when the season ends, and talk about that game because it's always so disappointing. But even in the loss last night, I thought there were some good things and some good signs. And like I said, the guys fought that all the way down to those final seconds. Just Murray was just a little bit better last night.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they deserved to win and made more plays. And we did some good things. It just wasn't quite enough, and that happens sometimes when we play good teams. So before we get off here, I do want to mention a couple people. We had a couple of guys that hadn't played this year that came out. Hunter Cooper's one that moved in from Alabama. That's a senior and didn't get to play a ton, and is another kid that worked hard and would play scout team, would be on special teams, and did a lot of really good things, and glad he joined us. And then Colin Walls joined us a little late after that first game, and same thing. Came to practiced really hard, and was kind of on the cusp there of getting in some more time, and really glad those guys decided to play, and really appreciate them, and kind of rounded up a really good senior class that has a lot to be proud of. And there's a ton of people behind the scenes that make things work, but I did want to mention a couple of those people. We've used a trailer to take our stuff to away games. Cray Lewis has been gracious enough to let us use his trailer the last couple of years for away trips. So him and Kathy, hosted the radio show, and they're very supportive, and we really appreciate them. And this year was kind of unique because, it was the first year we didn't have a Van Hoosier on the team. So Holly Van Hoosier always, was kind of like the behind the scenes organizing Oreo Surprise on Thursday and any type of team deal like that. So I asked Kelly Stevens back in the summer to do that, and she was awesome and was really easy to work with and went above and beyond to make things special for the kids. And there were a lot of other moms that helped pull that stuff off. But, we ice cream on Thursday. She kind of organized that. She organized the senior dinners on Thursday, and we ate as a team Thursday night. She got some people to pay for that, and I think C3 Electric paid for that. Randy Jordan Electric paid for that, and First Southern. So that's another thing that we kind of talked about. It's special to play football here because you've got so many people that support you and want you to do well, and that it takes all kinds of people and to run a football program, and we're fortunate to have those people.
Well, I was just a little disappointed we didn't get one more home football game because there's just something special about Tiger Stadium. I don't know if it's the way the stadium is shaped or whatever, but it just always seems really loud down on the field. And I can tell you when you go to some of these other places, other schools, the game day atmosphere is just not quite the same somehow. And like I said earlier in the show, there's a lot of schools out there that would be sitting there happy as they could be with a 7-4 record like you guys put up this year.
Yeah, and going back to playing at home, obviously I'm probably pretty biased, but I don't know that there's a better surface that we play on all year, and Will Brown has a lot to do with that. He works tirelessly on that thing, and then you look at the accommodations for the visiting team. I'll put our stuff up with anybody. So you're right. We've got a good setup, and we're lucky to have it.
Yeah, Jeff, it might just be me, but it always seems like the game day atmosphere at Tiger Stadium is just a little more amped up than when you go someplace else.
I think there's no place like home. That's the old adage, right? One of the things, there's a lot of people that have to be thanked, but we'd be remiss if we didn't thank Bruce Farmer and the work he does, painting the field, and that's a big lift off of our shoulders as coaches, and he spends a lot of time, and he takes a lot of pride in doing that. And, he does it for us. He gets it done for the middle school and sometimes the junior pro, and, he's one of those behind the scenes guys that's like your team builder on your football team, that anytime you need anything, you just ask, and him and Mr. Harper go out of their way to make sure we get those things that we need. And I do want to spend a special thanks to C3 Electric this year. They've sponsored the Lyman Award, and one of the things that they told my wife about the Lyman Awards, they wanted to be for some kids that may not get some recognition. A lot of times the guys with the balls in their hand tend to get a lot of recognition, and rightfully so, deserved. But sometimes those lineman guys don't always do that. And he emphasized how important it was to him that we take some time to emphasize those guys, and we've tried to do that. And I thank him. They've bought a nice plaque and award for that. And again, another great set of parents with great kids that help push that stuff forward. And I guess I'll give you a preview from the Thursday sideline report.
Sneak peek,
sneak peek. Brady Holman will be the lineman of the week for the Murray playoff game. So that'll round out this year. But that's a special thing that sometimes those kids don't get the recognition that they deserve, because there's no real stat for them. There's all kinds of things that can be said about the mentality of a lineman, and sometimes it's nice when someone wants to take an extra minute and recognize some of the work that they put into.
This is Saturday Morning Quarterback on WPKY, Princeton, Kentucky. Been a fun ride this season. Didn't win all of them, but like I said, I really enjoyed it. I think Tiger fans enjoyed watching the team grow, and everybody wants to win more games. I think everybody would say that, whether you're 10-1 or what, everybody wants to keep winning. But it was a fun ride, and I appreciate you guys' help coming in this season and being on the show, and just helping out throughout the season as always.
Yeah, appreciate you, Todd, and everybody at the radio station and your Sports Edge that provide tremendous coverage. And we're really lucky, and I've got a ton of friends that brag on you guys and follow you guys to keep up with us. So we really appreciate you all too.
All right, thanks, guys, for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Todd.
That's Caldwell coaches Will Barnes and Jeff Riley. Again, the Tigers seeing their season come to an end last night in the first round of the Class 2A playoffs, 27-13 down at Murray. Caldwell finishes up the season at 7-4. That's going to wrap us up on Saturday Morning Quarterback for this Saturday. Thanks a lot for being with us. This is Todd Griffin of YourSportsEdge.com and WPKY. You've been listening to Saturday Morning Quarterback on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
You've been listening to the Saturday Morning Quarterback Show with your host, Todd Griffin. For high school sports news from across the area, go to YourSportsEdge.com.